Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to What She Said. Whew. Has everyone become acclimated to the pushing the clock ahead 1 hour? I'm not. So typically we're live at 8:30. Before the change, I say, since it stays lighter outside longer, let's just try 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see how it goes. Just give everybody a chance to show up, waiting on the squad. I hope everybody had a good day. It was a Monday, eased into the week. As always, if you want to let me know how you're feeling, drop me an emoji. Let me know how you're feeling. Have a good show planned today. Earlier today, I felt like I should have gone live because there seems to have been a surprise to some people in free agency when it comes to quarterbacks, in particular, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And suddenly, I start rubbing my hands together like Birdman because the Steelers have cleared the deck when it comes to a quarterback. Not their choosing. So let me put on some music. We're going to get right into it. The Buffs are back. First official day of spring practice. And Coach Prime delivered a message. He is not playing. So come on in. Hit the like button on your way in. If you can't stay long, thanks for hanging out. Hit the like button on your way out, but please hit the like button on your way in. You guys have been showing me mad loves, new subs. The likes have been up. Keep it up. Thank you. It matters. And we're going to get this channel to grow. All right. Just looking for music. All right. Just going to ease into. All right. I see four of you back there, so I'm going to get going. Okay. All right. First, I want to say congratulations to Mr. Steph Curry. He now has a basketball job outside of the NBA, which means to me, he's getting ready to plan his retirement. That's what I took from it. And at none other than his alma mater, Davis. So he's going to be, I think the term is assistant athletic director. Let me make sure I got that right. I don't want to misspeak for the basketball program, of course. And I like it. It means he's being forward thinking and he's thinking about his future and what he's going to do next, right? Here it is right here. It said the Davidson experience is top notch. I want very talented, and this is the next thing I'm getting ready to say is what caught my attention. Very talented, high character students, student athletes to have that same experience. Steph Curry said that, and he is now the assistant GM, that's what they're calling it, athletic director, general manager of Davidson's basketball program. So understand this. When he said high character, my ears went whoop, and y'all know why. What were we talking about yesterday, the day before, and the day before that? We're talking about, it seems that you have a few NBA players out here, one in particular, we're talking about Anthony Edwards, who care more about his money, even though he wasn't proactive in protecting it, than he did the life of a child he brought into this world. And I'm like, so that's poor character. And when I heard Steph Curry's comment that he wants student athletes who are very talented, and he used the phrase high character, not saying he was directing anything towards anybody else, but the point is it matters. And honestly, high character should be the standard. And high character is what you want, dear NBA, when you're looking for the face of the league. High character. And people who are of high character want to associate, work with, play with, call family, people of high character. So the NBA needs to keep that in mind, when it comes to trying to name the face of the NBA. So congratulations to Stephen Curry. Shout out to him for getting ready to plan his next steps in his career, becoming the assistant GM for the Davidson men's basketball team. No doubt they will be successful. I just like it. I think it's good to be proactive and forward thinking. He's not waiting until he hangs up his basketball shoes. He's bridging the gap. I like that. All right. So shout out to Stephen Curry. Let's see who's in the comments. Hey James. Hey James, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Davidson University is in North Carolina. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Atlanta, welcome back. Atlanta Avenue, welcome back. And more basketball news. And I don't know if y'all are basketball fans, so you might want to turn your notifications on because I'm getting ready to pop up where it pertains to basketball. Shout out and congratulations to Juju Watkins. Now, if you've been following this page long enough, you know I like basketball, and I've already posted about Juju. I said she's the truth, and as she gets closer to making her debut in one of these women's professional leagues, we'll hear more and more about her. So this year, she has surpassed last year's first round draft pick, Caitlin Clark, to the WNBA. And everybody's like, why aren't they making a big deal out of it? I'm like, you know what? It don't matter. Because this young lady, some people have compared Juju Watkins to Michael Jordan. She plays both sides of the ball. She's not just athletic. She's talented, high basketball IQ. And we can't wait for her to make her debut in a professional league. But right now, she's still at USC, if not for another year. I don't know if she's coming out in 2026 going into the 2027. I do believe that might be what's happening here. I feel like she has a year after Flau'jae, but I could be wrong. So that's going to be an interesting conversation because I already have a t-shirt. I didn't wear it, but when I do my first basketball exclusive podcast, I will have it on. It has the names of the future of the NBA, and Juju's name is on it. I'm a big fan of hers. Just waiting for her to get a little bit closer. I probably will be watching March Madness, but I think Cheryl Miller is somebody she's close to. She's behind Cheryl Miller, but you know, she's already eclipsed Caitlin Clark's points per game or whatever. Point is, we knew it was coming. 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 It's happening. She's not just she didn't just have a good season. It's happening. So stay tuned. All right. So congratulations to Juju Watkins. People are already thinking that that's the rivalry they're looking forward to. Caitlin Clark versus Juju Watkins. Some people have said they're not looking forward to Angel Reese versus Caitlin. They're already salivating and waiting for Juju Watkins versus Caitlin Clark. We shall see. We shall see. So congratulations to Juju. All right. So let's get down to football. So earlier today, when I heard that Justin Fields moved on to the Jets, where we were hoping Cam Ward would go. I don't know where 400 Circle Media is, but that is his team. We were hoping that Cam Ward would go to the Jets. However, they have just signed Justin Fields to a very lucrative contract, in my opinion. 2-year contract for $40 million. But what makes the contract impressive, in my opinion, because I make business decisions, not personal decision when it comes to business. 30 million of that 40 is guaranteed. That's huge. So it's a 2-year contract. 30 million of that contract is guaranteed. So fans who are fans of the Jets basically said that Justin Fields should have been the pick for the Jets when he came out of college, but they chose, I think, Zach Wilson. And so now he's getting the chance to go to the team that people are saying he should have went to first. And we're going to see what happens. I'm excited about it. I watched his highlights today. I've heard people make comments that, you know, he runs more with his legs than he throws. They talk about Lamar does both. So that means he's a dual threat quarterback because I watched him throw the ball well today. So on his highlights, I don't know. I just don't think that he got a fair shake in Chicago, and look at what's happening with Caleb Williams, where they're proclaiming that they need to actually fix Caleb, the Heisman winner. So I like what's happening. Do y'all have any thoughts? How do you feel about Justin Fields signing a 2-year deal with the Jets? And do you feel like obviously he's positioned to become QB1? That's what I want to know. They have Tyrod Taylor, so I don't know if they plan to move Tyrod Taylor, if they plan to keep Tyrod Taylor, if the Jets are set when it comes to the QB position. All of these things are the things I want y'all to tell me in the comments. What are your thoughts about this trade? Do you feel like Justin Fields is QB1? If you had to grade it, is it an A, a B, a C, a F? I sent out a poll earlier today on YouTube, asking, now that Justin is in New York, who should the Pittsburgh Steelers have as QB1? And on the poll, I said Shedeur Sanders, Russell Wilson, Cam Ward, or Shedeur Sanders. So yeah, I had Shedeur Sanders listed intentionally twice. And I was thinking to myself, because they were talking about, earlier today, they were talking about the duo that is now in Pittsburgh. They need a QB1 to throw to. And they were like, we need somebody to spiral that ball, to DK Metcalf and George Pickens. And I was thinking Shedeur Sanders. So there's all this hoopla about him dropping down to number 20 and 21. And last week, somebody predicted that he could go to the Steelers. And then again, they came back with it again, that he's sliding down to number 20, which is right around the Steelers. Now, the Steelers could always trade up. But right now, it seems that the Steelers are supposed to be, and it feels obligatory, in my opinion, having a conversation with Aaron Rodgers, who's 41, by the way. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm listening to somebody on one of these big box networks basically go on and on and on as to how Aaron Rodgers should have already been signed to a contract and, already have another team. I'm like, why are y'all thinking this? And I was reminded by somebody in the comments a few days ago, these analysts don't work in front offices. They work for the network who have deals, with the NFL, and they just be talking. So there were some people who were surprised, even though the fact that Justin Fields hadn't made his decision, because he had to wait till noon, and it came out a few hours later. The fact that he hadn't made his decision basically was kind of telling you he was talking to somebody else. And I think some people were shocked. I think some people were shocked that he actually went to a ball club that already had Tyrod Taylor, and that means that it's possible Justin Fields is QB1. So let's see what the comments are saying about it. Let's see. It says, hey, family. Hey, Damon. A lot of movement in NFL. Yes, that's what we're talking about today. It said they want him and Garrett together. That was his, that was the guy he was throwing to. That was his target at Ohio State. Okay. And it says, Damon says you think it's a good fit. You guys should do it going to the Browns. Okay. Now, how did you come up with that, Damon? I posted today a short talking about, I didn't think it was a coincidence that the Browns met with Shedeur, Cam Ward, and Jalen Milroe. And now we're back to that conversation. AFC North is the best division. It says he's going to compete with Kenny Pickett. So yes, I heard that Philadelphia, which is interesting in itself, and Philadelphia potentially have an opening for a quarterback behind Jalen Hurts. That's not a bad place to be. So let me know your thoughts about that. So Kenny Pickett was dealt to Cleveland, who felt like they got to get somebody because we know they need a quarterback, which means if they have Kenny Pickett, they're not bringing back Jameis Winston. So right now it kind of sounds that Jameis Winston is on the outs. Let me know your thoughts about that if anybody has any thoughts. So Kenny Pickett is gone from Philadelphia to Cleveland. Cleveland still needs a QB1 because I don't think it's Kenny Pickett. But it does seem to be with Kenny Pickett there, Jameis Winston is gone, but I don't know where he went. I don't know if he's going anywhere, to be honest. He's still got his social media going. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll have a team this year. It's starting to seem like he's not going to have a team. And with all of the acquisitions and the trades that are happening, especially just today alone, it's starting to look like if Aaron Rodgers doesn't go to the Vikings or the Giants, I don't know where he gonna land either. Some people say the Pat McAfee show. And with that being the case, that leaves the worst teams to snag a quarterback. Tennessee seems to not believe that they need a quarterback. So that leaves the Browns, and Damon just shared with us that Shedeur could go, is probably going to the Browns, and that leaves the Giants. I just heard Kai Cenat, who was on Stephen A. show a few days ago, I just watched it today, say that he when he was asked by Molly, because she's a big Giants fan, where does Kai believe that Travis Hunter should go? He said the Giants. I agree with that. We talked about that the other day, and I said Travis should go to the Giants. So where does that leave Cam when we wanted Cam to go to the Jets, thinking the Jets would trade up to get Cam? Where does that leave Cam Ward? Do they send him to Philadelphia? Is he going to still be there when Philly picks? I can't imagine it. I don't know. So y'all have to let me know your thoughts. Sam Darnold is the next person who's a veteran to likely go maybe tomorrow. Everybody's expecting for the most part, that it's going to be the Seahawks. And it was funny. They were like, Sam Darnold to the Hawks. And I'm a basketball fan. I was like, what? I was like, oh, wait. The Seahawks. Okay. So, because my brain is starting to shift and start thinking about basketball a little more. And it always happens at this time of year. So don't be surprised. But I think Sam Darnold is going to the Seahawks. I get the feeling Jameis Winston is not going anywhere. Aaron Rodgers, they're thinking maybe he could go to Seattle. I mean, to the Vikings. And then there's Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins staying put. I don't think Kirk Cousins is going anywhere, despite he wants to go somewhere where he said he could play. So I don't know. Let's see who's in here. QB1 is Russell Wilson, with a veteran. Hey, 22. Hey, 22. All right, it says, oh, okay, he's saying Shedeur is going to compete. Damon is saying Shedeur is going to compete with Kenny Pickett for the starting job in Cleveland. Okay. It said they want Shedeur the most. Yeah, I do believe that. And again, we've been talking about this courtship that the Browns have had the entire time. Now, do y'all feel like it's really going to be a competition, or they just going to name Kenny Pickett QB2 and Shedeur Sanders QB1? All right, that's a thought. So 22 says Justin Fields will be QB1, Pittsburgh Steelers. 22, Justin Fields was traded today. He wasn't traded. He signed with the Jets. So Justin Fields is gone. And then QB1 will be Russell Wilson. He's a veteran, and Russell took the Steelers to the playoffs, and Pittsburgh Steelers went and got DK Metcalf. Right. And that connection, DK Metcalf and the Steelers, is similar to Justin Fields and Garrett playing together. But the Jets also have Devontae Adams, right? Didn't Devontae just sign with the Jets also? So he got a duo as well. So Pittsburgh and the Jets are on a come up. Now, early today, if I had pressed live when I first heard this news, I was like, I like this. But you know what I also like? Because there are some people, don't forget, we talked about Kenny Pickett not being 100% reliable. And remember, we talked about it. Shannon Sharp was having like a hissy fit that he said George Pickens was lazy and cost him the game. So I'm one of those people who remember during the Shrine Bowl that it seems that the Pittsburgh Steelers asked Jimmy Horn Jr. to like, don't worry about playing the game, etc., because they've seen enough. Now, I said it back then. Jimmy Horn Jr. would be perfect to go to Pittsburgh. Now, everybody feels like since Justin Fields is gone, either Aaron Rodgers is coming in or Russell Wilson. I say it could be Shedeur. Somebody said, an analyst made a comment, the Pittsburgh Steelers want to win now. They've never had a losing season in 18 years. Mike Tomlin been there, and now they want to win. They want to move forward. I'm like, okay. See, I'm not of the opinion that rookies have to sit for a year. But to me, all of these free agency moves and how people are stacking these quarterbacks, you can tell that the media, and remember, the media does not work in any of these front offices. You can tell that the media wants Shedeur, Cam, and anybody else to sit for a year. That's what the media seems to prefer. I don't even know why they have a preference in the matter, but you can tell that's the way that they're navigating their conversation. When I hear that the Steelers want to win and they have two capable wide receivers, I'm thinking the goods. You could draft Shedeur Sanders and he could start, and you could end up in the same position as the Washington Commanders, provided they have an O-line. And I think that they do. So we shall see. But that's why I put this picture together, because, I think that's what should happen. So I asked earlier today, is it still Shedeur Sanders to the Raiders? Are we starting to cool, to simmer on Shedeur going to the Raiders, meaning we prefer the Browns or we prefer the Steelers? Or is it that we prefer any team where he could start? Leon said, I think Justin is going to be a good fit in New York. I think he will be QB1 to start the season. I think so too, which is why I was like, okay, we got to find somewhere else for Cam Ward to go. And we're running out of places where he could start, I feel like, because if Tennessee doesn't want a quarterback, and I don't think that's on the needs list, that leaves the Browns and that leaves the Giants. And I do think Travis should go to the Giants, but that doesn't mean, who do they have for QB with the Giants right now? Who's actually their QB1? Can they move forward with QB1 if they get Travis? Somebody let me know your thoughts. This is what I'm asking. If the Giants draft Travis Hunter at number 3, can they move forward with their current QB1, Malik Neighbors, Travis Hunter, etc.? Let me know your thoughts. Jameis said, Jameis is a hilarious, funny guy. He really is. People really like him. He's hilarious, but I'm pretty sure he wants to play quarterback somewhere. It says, James says, I said Cleveland or the Titans. Everybody looked at the side eye. That's because everybody felt like the Raiders were a lock. Now, let me just be 100% clear. I've already seen people backpedaling off this. Geno Smith is going to be number 1 in the Raiders. I told y'all, I was like, not so fast. Not so fast. So, to me, if that's the case, Shedeur Sanders could be the Raiders' number 6 pick, the Browns' number 2 pick, and we know the Browns really seem to like the Raiders. Seem to like Shedeur. And then I say Pittsburgh. I think the best marriage is Shedeur Sanders to Pittsburgh and Jimmy Horn Jr. to Pittsburgh. I could see both of those players going there. When Jimmy Horn Jr. was interviewed on the Rich Eisen show, he was asking him about what he thought his first year would look like. He said, well, I think he said something to the tune of he's not expecting to take anybody's number 1 spot. He thinks he's going to play special teams. He already knows what he's getting ready to do. When you say something like that, it's because that's what you and another team discussed. They like you. They ask you basically to chill out during the Shrine Bowl. They want you for their special teams, and you cool with it. I like it. Because if George Pickens has an issue, I say Jimmy Horn Jr. is right there. And I'm not against. Now, tomorrow we may wake up. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers should go to Pittsburgh. I think he should go to the Giants. Or I think if they wanted to get Matthew Stafford, then they should want to get Aaron Rodgers. That's how I feel about the Giants. Or he could go to the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy. Now, they could duke it out for who starts up there. But I do believe I like Shedeur going to Pittsburgh, Shedeur and Jimmy Horn Jr. Maybe that's a Buffs fantasy. I don't know. But that's what I like. When I heard it today, they were like, who's going to throw to DK Metcalf and George Pickens? We need somebody to throw spirals. I was like, Shedeur Sanders. I like it. I give that an A plus for the draft. It says, you did say Cleveland. You did. It said Pittsburgh got Rodgers now. What? They made that official? I don't like that. Why would they do that? Did they make that official, Damon, or are you guessing? Let's see. Is that 100%? So what does that leave Russell Wilson? Let's see. Aaron Rodgers. Let's see. It says Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, debating Steelers' best QB option. That was earlier today. I don't see where he signed with them, but I could be missing it. Right now, he's still a New York Jet. That's according to the latest news that I have. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers. Steelers are a perfect match. I don't think they officially signed yet. Fingers crossed that didn't happen. All right. Okay. So again, tomorrow I either hear that Sam Darnold is now a Seattle Seahawk, and we know Minnesota has JJ McCarthy. So Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson got to be somewhere. It said, let's see. Said Travis will be a good fit at Baltimore. I hope both of them come to the AFC North. You think Travis should go to Baltimore? Interesting. James said Cleveland front seven and Tennessee front seven can protect better than the Jets, the Raiders, the Saints, the Giants, and Pittsburgh. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Cleveland has 11, unless the trade today involved the trade with Philadelphia with Kenny Pickett involved a draft pick. If I'm not mistaken, Cleveland has 11 picks. And if they're already in number 2, clearly they're not trading up to number 1 for any position. And if they just got Kenny Pickett, I don't see him as QB1. I feel like Kenny Pickett was a backup in Philly. I don't think he's getting ready to leave a backup in Philly and go start in Cleveland. I'm not getting that. So what happens to the opening in Cleveland now that Kenny Pickett is gone? What do they in Philadelphia? What does Philadelphia do now since they're backup? I watch Kenny Pickett play backup. So what we doing there? Y'all have any thoughts on who's going to Philadelphia after Jalen Hurts? Is it Jalen Milroe? I can see it. I can see it. And I told y'all the relationship. I can see it. Let me know your thoughts about that. Now that Kenny Pickett has moved on to Cleveland, who will be the backup to Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia to contend for a repeat to the Super Bowl? Not just to go, but to win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. I think that's very interesting. All right. Oh, let's see. That's some more comments here. It says, I don't think anyone is in a hurry to ink Aaron Rodgers. Right, because that would have happened already. But the media is trying to sell it really hard. They are really working tirelessly to sell this whole Aaron Rodgers should be somewhere because he did this, that, the other. I was listening to the Colorado Buffaloes coaches today, and what did they say? That's great that you did this last year, but what can you do for me now? What are you doing right now? So I don't want to hear about all his accolades. I think that's special. But they are trying really hard to make it seem like he's 26 and compete with Sam Darnold at the same age. I'm like, no. Now think about this. If Russell Wilson was 41, he's 36. They already saying he washed up. If Russell Wilson was 41, do y'all think the media would be working tirelessly to try to find him a team and insist that somebody sign him expeditiously because he's this, that, and the other? No. They're already saying he washed up at the age of 36, and they're using his age to say he's washed up. They didn't point out the fact of who pointed it out earlier, that he took them to the playoffs, etc. And if, according to Shannon Sharp, if it wasn't for George Pickens, they could have moved forward in the playoffs. Who is this? This 22. It says QB1 is Russell Wilson. He's a veteran, and Russell Wilson took the Steelers to the playoffs, and Pittsburgh Steelers went and got DK Metcalf. I mean, that does look like the writing is on the wall. So I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson stays in Pittsburgh. But the question is, do y'all think, even though Russell stays, do you see Pittsburgh drafting someone in this draft? Let me know your thoughts. I've asked a lot of questions. Let's see. It said, so yeah, I don't think anybody's in a hurry to sign, except for the media. And I'm like, who are y'all working for? Because that's crazy. Hey, Kiel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, okay. It says Sam Darnold signed with the Seahawks today. He did? I didn't think he had signed yet. Okay. Well, that's expected anyway. So yeah. Okay, thanks for that, Kiel. It says, James says, plus that run game with Jerome Ford, Nick Chubb, Cleveland, or Spears, Pollard helps the pass option. Okay, you're talking about Cleveland. Okay, I think you're talking about Cleveland. James, you're talking about Cleveland, right? I saw that Stephon Diggs was still still waiting to be picked up. He hasn't been picked up yet either. I think he's with the Texans right now, and they're saying he hasn't been picked up yet. There's a lot of wide receivers out there. Oh, he got a 3-year contract? Okay, so you're saying Sam Darnold got a 3-year contract in Seattle. Okay, so they made that announcement today. I wonder if people were expecting it to be more than that. How much was it? Sam Darnold. Let's see. Why the Seahawks are taking a risk choosing Sam Darnold as their QB. That was an hour ago. Oh, wow. Okay. A 3-year, $100 million contract. Okay. All right. That's pretty snazzy. Okay. That's about $30-some-odd million a year. I think the highest paid quarterback is Dak Prescott at $60 million a year. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So they had a good record last year in Minnesota. So Sam Darnold won. He's one of the winners in this. So that leaves Russell Wilson, and we're talking like the top 5 veteran QB free agency players. Let's see. That still leaves Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. I would rather it be Russell Wilson if Pittsburgh got to sign somebody. A veteran. I would rather it be Russell Wilson. Like y'all say, they went and got DK Metcalf. I mean, that's just like the writing is on the wall. Just like y'all are saying about Justin Fields and Garrett and the Jets. And then they also have Devontae, what's his name? Devontae Adams. I think he did good going there. Going to be the starter. Yes. Sam Darnold is definitely going to be the starter. If that's what you're talking about, Kiel, that's what, yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure you give somebody a $3-year contract at $100 million that they're the starter. So, okay, let's ask this question. Okay, maybe not. Justin Fields just got a 2-year contract at $40 million. It's $20 million a year. Sam Darnold just got a 3-year contract at $100 million, which is about $33.5 million a year. That's almost a $13 million a year difference, which means that the Jets have about $10 million for a draft pick. What do y'all think about that? And I don't know what happens with Tyrod Taylor, but you can have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. So let me know your thoughts about that. I know what I heard somebody say today, that Aaron Rodgers should go to Indianapolis. What do y'all think about that? I haven't heard much about Indianapolis, but they just trying to find somewhere for Aaron Rodgers to go. That's what it seems like. Okay, that was good intel, Kiel. Thank you for sharing that information. Sam Darnold has a home for 3 years. Lucrative contract, in my opinion. Justin Fields also has a home. I don't think they were expecting Justin Fields to move that quickly. It says that Pittsburgh is supposed to talk to, expected to talk to Aaron Rodgers, but I'm rooting for Russell Simmons because they did go get DK Metcalf in the same way that Pete Carroll went and got Geno Smith. Right? So I like it. Okay. And then we have Philadelphia making way for a quarterback. Does anybody know what pick Philadelphia has in the first round? I'm thinking it's like really like low. Philadelphia sending Kenny Pickett to Cleveland, which we don't believe that's going to be. We don't think Kenny Pickett is going to be QB1 in Cleveland. I don't. That means Cleveland is going to draft somebody. The question is, remember they interviewed Jalen Milroe along with Cam and Shedeur. So they were trying to figure out what they were going to do. I don't see them drafting Kenny Pickett in a second round pick. Do y'all see that? I don't see that. I see me having Kenny Pickett in a first round pick, just like the Jets could potentially do, because that contract that they gave Justin Fields, although lucrative for Justin Fields, because he gets $30 million of the $40 guaranteed, it still leaves room for QB to be drafted, and they could compete on who plays first. They could compete on QB1. Okay, this is starting to shake out. All right. It says swap Rodgers for Fields. Say that, Damon. What's that? It said Cleveland loves. Okay. Cleveland likes black quarterbacks. Okay. It said me and you would be good analysts at ESPN. Oh, that's cute, Damon. Thank you. That's funny. You know, it's different when you're under the bright lights instead of standing in your house. But I don't doubt that. It said, 22 said, Justin Fields at QB1 and the Jets. Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification, 22. Appreciate it. The Jets and Devontae Adams is gone to the Rams. Oh, he went to the Rams. I thought he went to the Jets. Oh, he did. Vegas to the Jets to the Rams. Okay. Thank you for that, 22. Thank you for that clarity. I appreciate it. Damon said the Raiders for me, for Shedeur, that stadium, better for him than throwing in a very windy Cleveland and the weather. Oh, you from Ohio. I didn't know that. Okay. So you still like Shedeur to the Raiders. Okay. So, okay. Let's go down that avenue. All right. So we have veterans in place, right? We have Geno Smith and Vegas. And Damon just said Shedeur still should go to Vegas. That answers the question I asked on my short. Is it still Shedeur to Vegas? With that being the case, you got Geno Smith and Shedeur in Vegas. So that means Cam Ward to the Browns and Travis Hunter, third to the Giants. It seems like we only care about the top three picks. We got Travis, Shedeur, and Cam, but we don't seem to be worried about anybody else outside of those three. I keep my eye on Jalen Milroe, but he's in good hands because I know who his agent is. And whoever Justin Fields' agent is, David Galletta, I think that's his name. Yeah, they in good hands too. $30 million guaranteed out of 40. That's pretty good. And we're going to talk about Josh Allen's new $330 million 6-year contract, which means he will likely retire as a Buffalo Bill. And $250 million of that contract guaranteed. They said that's the largest guarantee, I guess, percentage, or the largest amount guaranteed in NFL history. See what being the MVP can do for you? So now you're going to have Jalen Hurts, maybe Joe Burrows when his contract is up, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. When their contracts are up, they're going to be looking. They're going to be looking in that direction. They're going to be looking. And I'm going to tell you, if Jalen gets another Super Bowl within the next few years and he wins again, that's 3 appearances, possibly in less than 5 years, it's going to be some money. So, DeVito. James said DeVito. James, what are you saying when you say DeVito? Let's see. It says Damon says the culture Tom Brady loves Shedeur. Yeah, he does, but he also was willing to shop for Matthew Stafford. Now, what does that say? That he was going to draft Shedeur at number 6 and bench him? I haven't gotten over that yet. I'm still in my feelings. I feel like he cheating. That's what cheating look like. Wait a minute. I thought you was I'm going to be your QB1. You out here on the low creeping and trying to talk to Matthew Stafford, who went back to his main thing, which is the Rams. That's how I feel about it. Like, yeah, I don't know if I can trust you now. They might get him down there and pull a whole Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins. Well, we did, and that's what they did. Oh, the coach can decide who start. We got Shedeur and Geno. So now the Raiders fans are backing off of that. We got our QB1. They were like, not after looking at Sam Darnold's contract. Sam Darnold got $100 million for 3 years. Let's see. Now, Geno Smith said he was looking for a big payday from the Raiders. So we need to see what that looks like. Anybody have any thoughts? Oh, Danny DeVito. And he was a third string quarterback. We don't have a number 1. And we don't have a number 2. Oh, Kiel, you talking about the Giants. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. You don't have a number 1 and you don't have a number 2? So you need 2 quarterbacks in New York? You need a starter and you need a first rounder and a second rounder? Or maybe you could get Aaron Rodgers as your QB1 and maybe like Quinn Ewers as your QB2. What do you think about that? Oh, I know, not Aaron. Aaron Rodgers as your QB1 and Jackson Dart as your QB2. Let me know your thoughts about that one, Kiel, for the Giants. I didn't know y'all need 2 quarterbacks. Hey, Roddy, how you doing? What happened? De'Aaron Fox said he has a tough decision to make. I got to figure that out. Okay. It said, hey, Ronnie, how you doing? It said that is not going to happen. What's that, Ronnie? What's not going to happen? We've been talking about so much. Let me know. All right, let me know. Let me know what's not going to happen. Okay. Okay, let's see. 22 said the Giants really need a QB, and Derek Carr wants out of New Orleans, so that may be a good spot. Oh, Derek Carr wants out of New Orleans? I didn't hear that. Oh, okay, good. Okay, I like it. Because see, one of the hats on Shedeur's backpack was who? The Saints. I like it. What y'all think about Shedeur to the Saints? I've never heard anybody talk about that, but I did see a hat on his backpack, along with Minnesota, who lost Sam Darnold, and now people are trying to figure out who's going to Minnesota with JJ McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers seems to be that quarterback. Everybody just want to plug him in somewhere. It's like, okay, they don't have a quarterback, you go here. So they really need a QB. Ronnie, let me know what's not going to happen. You said something's not going to happen. Damon said, yes, ma'am. It said they're going to let them battle for positions. Okay. Perfect. That's his mentor, Hurts. Are you talking about Jalen Hurts and Jalen Milroe, Damon? Adams has signed with the Rams. Okay, thank you for that, Jerry. Thank you. So Devontae is with Matthew Stafford. Remember, the Rams was also a team. They said not a Buffalo, and I don't think it was a one of these haterist talking heads. They were like, Jimmy Horn Jr. really could go to the Rams and open up that offense for them. So maybe, but we shall see. Derek Carr has a high cap number. The Giants don't want nothing to do with that unless he's got a restructure for his contract. So he is somebody else that has to move around, huh? All right, so Derek Carr might not be good for the Giants. Loose ends, Rodgers and Fields, they swapped. Damon, are you speculating that Rodgers is going to Pittsburgh? Because I didn't hear anything said he was. Let me know if this is your preference or if this is a inked deal somewhere. Thanks, Damon. It said they go big head. Darnold. It's a sweet deal. Yeah, that's a sweet deal. And Gino seems to think that, he wants big money like that too. And he is with Pete Carroll. That was his coach. So I don't know. Darnold, I got you. Shanita, hello. Miss Hayes, welcome back. It said Damon a 3-year deal. Oh, okay. Let's see. Pitt like older QBs. Oh, Pittsburgh likes older QBs. Oh, okay. Well, Russell Wilson is older. And to me, are you really going to sign Aaron Rodgers to anything beyond a 1-year contract at the age of 41? The body changes. And, you can't keep taking these kind of hits like that. And it wasn't good. And I don't know. I don't see it. I think I'm going to go ahead and get Russell Wilson since he played with DK Metcalf. And he wasn't that bad last year. And I looked. Okay, the top 5 free agents that they had listed 1 through 5 was something like it was Sam Darnold 1, Aaron Rodgers was 2. I think this was like CBS. Then they had like somebody else was 3. Kirk Cousins, maybe? No, he was 5. And then they had Russell Wilson, and then they had Justin Fields. So the number 5 rated QB's already gone to another team. Got a sweet deal, in my opinion, for 2 years. Because if he does well at the Jets, if they make a playoff appearance, they can extend that contract. And if he already got 30 out of 40, if he gets another year or 2, that's going to be a sweet deal. And I feel like I looked at the QBR ratings. And the QBR ratings, the top 3 veterans available: Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Those 3 had the top 3 QBR ratings. QBR ratings, take in account of a lot of things, not just yards. So I think that's what you got to look at when you trying to, plug and play a veteran somewhere. Like, when they good overall, not just the yardage. So, but though, and it's funny, Justin Fields is gone, so somebody felt the way I did in terms of he got a good QBR rating, which takes into account a lot of things. And I felt like the Giants safeguarded themselves too. I felt like they're like, well, since we don't really know, we think we don't know, and we should have got him the first time, let's go ahead and give him $40 million for 2 years. And then the agent won by negotiating. That's cool. But he's a better quarterback than that. So let's go ahead and guarantee the majority of the contract. Let's guarantee 30 out of 40. You get a time commitment of 2 years. If you don't think he's good, he's gone after that. And he gets guaranteed money to show that you value him. That was some very good lawyering. That was very good negotiations. That's what people are saying. Man, that was a sweet deal. 2 years. Most of it guaranteed. Almost like 90% of it. That's excellent. So I guess we'll have to see tomorrow. Since Sam Darnold's out the way, Matthew Stafford's out the way, Justin Fields secured. That leaves Russ, Aaron Rodgers. Is that it? What about Daniel Jones? Where is he? I haven't heard anything about Daniel Jones. I think somebody said Indiana for him too. It was Indianapolis. It was Aaron Rodgers or Daniel Jones to Indianapolis. I was like, anybody have any thoughts on that one? I don't know. It said the media working hard for Aaron Rodgers. Yes. I don't know if you were on when I said that, but I pointed that out. It's crazy how you could just go from show to show and they saying the same thing. And it's almost like they want to, like, how heaven, it's like the question is, how haven't they signed Aaron Rodgers? I'm like, have you not been watching? Do you not understand what's at stake here? If Pittsburgh wants to go to the next level, first of all, why would you sign a 1-year contract that didn't do well last year on a QB that's 41? Let's put that in there because age does matter. And 2, he didn't have a good last year when he went to the Jets. Isn't that what he was supposed to go to the Jets to do when he first got there? Did it happen? And he's 41? Nah, I'm good. We good. Russ is only 36. Same age as Kirk Cousins, when they gave Kirk Cousins $180 million over 4 years. Then Sam Darnold just got 3 years for $100 million. I'm going with Russ to Pittsburgh. I prefer Shedeur, but we don't know how that's going to work. But my options are open. I think we should do a mock draft. I don't know how to talk to y'all to set this up, but I think what we should do, what I would like to do before we actually get to the draft, maybe about a week or so after free agency is over, since we have some people who are on here consistently, we agreed to set a date. We show up. You got to wear a jersey. You can actually come on camera. 10 of us can come on camera, and we can just do the first round. If it's 10 of us, we can do the first 10 picks based on the teams that are already set out there. And then, for example, let's say I have the first pick. I'm Tennessee. I represent Tennessee, and I make my pick. And then whoever's second represents Cleveland. Whoever's third represents the Giants, and so on and so forth till we get to 10. That's what I want to do. How do y'all feel about that? And we come on camera, you make your pick. That's what I want to do as a channel. So y'all let me know. It'll be the What She Said mock draft. First 10 picks of the first round. So Pittsburgh likes older QBs. 22 said the media is working hard for Aaron Rodgers because he's one of the good old boys. Plus, they don't like Russell Wilson because he's a family man and has a wealthy wife, and Russell Wilson has a lucrative contract. Yeah. Remember we talked about right as the season was ending, they kind of slipped it in there that there was this lawsuit brought by players against the league for collusion, and it was found that the leagues colluded. But even though the NFL was found guilty of collusion, there was no harm done. And 2 of the quarterbacks at question, and this only affected veteran quarterbacks. Russell Wilson, I feel like Justin Fields was the other one. I have to go back and look. And you know what I was thinking today? I'm looking at Josh Allen with this $330 million contract, and I don't think he's been to the Super Bowl, right? And it's for 6 years. And then you have Sam Darnold, 3 years, $100 million. I can't remember if he's been to the Super Bowl either. That's why I said when it's time for Lamar Jackson again, when it's time for Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson had 2 MVPs, could have had 3. And I thought today, I said, I wonder if that third MVP was one of the reasons to justify the $330 million. Not saying he doesn't deserve it at all. But during the season, all you could hear was, people putting down Lamar Jackson because he hasn't gotten to the Super Bowl, that he can't win the big games. But in my opinion, he was in the same boat as Josh Allen. And we all felt like it was obvious that he got robbed for the MVP. So imagine Lamar Jackson wins MVP, but Josh Allen gets the $330 million contract. So now I can see why people were out here switching their votes, because if you agree to pay somebody $330 million when MVP was granted, you knew who you were going to pay. And that's why it had to be Josh Allen. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he can't get to the big games or win the big game. So the money is affected, the way that, they get talked about in the media, it does kind of vie into some of these teams' heads, right? Like Justin Fields, how he was being trashed at Chicago. But his first contract, the entire thing, I think I read it was $18 million and all of it was guaranteed. I'm pretty sure that's what I thought I read. That's why I had to look up his agent. I'm like, this man is good. Somebody need to get him if you really trying to get to the bag and you don't have a whole lot of time left. So I was thinking to myself, when he got this $40 million, I said, okay, if he had $18 million first and he has $40 million now for 2 years, that's about 68 somewhere in there, or 58. So he still hasn't made like big money. You know what I mean? And the way that they're uncertain about him, that's why he only got $40 million for 2 years. rather than say 75 for 3 is because of the uncertainty, because of what happened in Chicago, then coming to Pittsburgh. But he's going back to the team. They should have drafted him first. And if he balls out, then he'll get his money. But this is what I was saying to y'all about how when these black quarterbacks get downgraded, because the media is harping and harping and harping, and even though they aren't in the front office, it does seem to work. Jalen Hurts, prime example. I pointed that out. His overall contract, the first one was only $9 million. And I pointed out that Justin Herbert's was like $26 million. And imagine if Jalen Hurts had actually gotten the $26 million and been drafted in the first round like he was supposed to be, or should have been, based on his actual talent and not what people are saying. Then you add that to the 250 that he actually has a contract for now. So 9 million plus 250, or 26 million plus 250. You see how that works? So when they're trashing Shedeur and saying he's going to fall to 20, when you look at the 20th pick and how much that contract was last year, that's what they're trying to do to Shedeur. Oh, okay. So you are already rich. Drop him down to number 20. That's what the media is working fervently on, to try to find some way to either send him to the Giants where he won't start. And that seems to have fizzled out. So now it's like, well, let's drop him down because it affects his money. And even if you get $330 million, if somebody else gets $330 million and you only got 10 and they got 20, you still behind. So to me, they're still finding a way to snub these black quarterbacks until I see Jalen Hurts or somebody else, maybe Anthony Richardson, if he wins the Super Bowl, etc., get 30 million after getting 26 million. Jaden Daniels would be the perfect person because he and Caleb were drafted number 1 and number 2 at around 38 million. So imagine when it's time for Jaden Daniels to get his next contract after this 4 year is up. Should it be 330 million if he got to the Super Bowl? It's affecting their money. The guys in the draft and these veterans. And I do believe that is why the collusion lawsuit came against the NFL from veteran quarterbacks like Russell Wilson. And you see how Russell Wilson is being treated. They got a judge to vote in their favor that, okay, yeah, they're guilty, but it didn't hurt you. So it was like playing blackjack and you push. Your card show 20 and the dealer's card shows 20. No harm, no foul, but yeah, okay, you're guilty. That had to be manufactured. So sweet, but he needs an O-line running back. Oh, I'm sorry, these two Kiel and Damon are talking. Okay. Seattle is good for Sam Darnold. I think it is. I think it is. People were surprised that Geno Smith was traded, but then when they realized that Pete Carroll is there, the connection, it made a lot of sense. And it does seem that, remember, I don't know if y'all know, but Geno Smith and Seattle were already in talks for money. And Seattle was like, nah, I don't want to do it. So in my opinion, I feel like Pete Carroll came and rescued him. So I don't know what kind of money he's going to get from the Raiders. I would think that have already been discussed and hashed out. Wouldn't y'all think that too? Unless they just going to take on the last year of his contract or something. If it's, if he had like an option, or if he was in his, I don't know what year he will be in because he's been in the league for a minute. But yeah, the media is working to try to boost up. That's why I said they're working really hard to tear down Shedeur, and they're working really hard to boost up his draft stock, Aaron Rodgers' draft stock. All right. Okay, so now, since we talked about free agency, we'll see tomorrow if Pittsburgh makes a decision. We'll see where Aaron Rodgers lands. We'll see if Daniel Jones pop back up in the conversation. And I doubt that there's any change to Atlanta, but you never know. So we shall see. They said there's a few teams that want Kirk Cousins. So maybe something could be worked out. I don't know. So let's turn our attention to the Colorado Buffaloes. So the Buffs are back. And Coach Prime had a lot to say today. me see if I can pull this up. Coach Prime had a lot to say to the team, and he wasn't playing. I thought I heard Coach Prime. I thought I heard him say, "Some of you that are sitting here won't be here, I guess, when it's time, when it's go time." I was like, okay. And he said, "Y'all know I'm not playing." So, and he was talking about other people. He said, "I'm not, making a threat or anything. I'm not bragging. I'm not boasting. I'm just pretty much saying we have a chance. We have a better team." He feels like we have a better team this year. And what they talked about since it's the first day, the strength and conditioning coach focused on integrity, who you are as a person, how you moving. Coach Prime talked about discipline. And one of the other coaches, who I don't know who he was, but he said, if you don't keep your grades up, if you are getting Fs, he said Coach Prime is not going to let you practice or do anything involving the football team. He said, so don't go there. Do what you're supposed to do. Be where you're supposed to be. And I don't know if they're saying this because it's the first day, but I'm starting to get the impression somebody not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Coach Prime talked about the earrings the other day, how he don't want to see no earrings. And somebody came to practice with a Band-Aid over the earring. He said, now see, that's a lack of discipline. If I say don't wear earrings here, don't try to cover it up, don't wear the earring. So they are instilling into them right now that they need to be disciplined, not try to circumvent the system. Talking about their schoolwork, Coach Pat Schumer, very firm in his position. He said, I was in college. He said, and the guys that struggle the most don't do what needs to be done. He said, you have to do your schoolwork. And in the comments, somebody said, well, just get a girlfriend and have her do your schoolwork. So I dislike the comment. Do your own work, because when football is over and it ends faster than you realize, you need to know something. So don't be tempted to pay somebody or get a girl and have her do your work for you, because that makes her smarter, not you. And you are the one who's going to need to have an education when football ends. I was noticing as to the free agents, right? And I'm looking at, like, they have a tier 1 through tier 4. And they have some because of age, some because, they haven't played much, etc. I was noticing the age of the guys that's waiting to be picked up. And this could be their last year. 26, 27, 26, 27, 28, 31, 33. So imagine you came into the league at 22? And your play, in their opinion, is lackluster. So you had a 4-year contract. So now you're 26. You just finished your rookie contract. I hope you kept that money, because some of those people on that free agent list at the age of 26 and 27 are not getting picked up. Everybody will not be picked up. And if you didn't save that rookie year contract, that's what we have been talking about in our other videos. You're going to be broke. You're going to become a part of the statistic of professional athletes that go broke. You can't take any of this for granted. Go look at the free agency list and look at the number of people who are not going to make it past their rookie contract. I told y'all there were people coming in here who working so hard, they already trying to get to that extension. You can't just focus on the 4 years. That's going to go by fast. And once that $1 million a year, and for a lot of people, $800,000 a year is gone, that's it. And you're going to feel it, because you're going to have to move out of your mini mansion if you bought one. You might have to sell your Lamborghini or your Rolls Royce truck. You might have to pawn your jewelry. I think the best case of this is a guy named Adrian Peterson. Made over $100 million and end up pawning some of his sports memorabilia and couldn't pay that back. So he lost it. But one of the things he did do when the money was rolling in was have a party in Houston, they said, and he flew 300 people to this event. It was his birthday. Imagine it's your birthday, you paying for your party, and you fly 300 people first class, $2,000 a ticket at least, depending on when he bought them, because it could be more. 300 people flown in first class to your party, and that was just to get them there. You had to make sure they had housing, transportation, and something to eat that you no doubt paid for at your party. But you can't just bring people from one city to another on a first class ticket and say, come celebrate my birthday with me, and then the tab is on you. He paid for all of that. And now he's broke. $100 million. Even if you had $50 million after taxes, you should still have some money. So go look at the people. If you need reality to kick in, go look at the people who are right now just finishing their rookie contract and they have not been picked up yet. That would make me, as a football player, which something I could never be in the NFL, their rookie contract, if the whole thing is $4 million, which means on average $1 million a year, and I got to pay taxes, which is about 600. Let's say I get 600,000 or 500,000, then I have to live. I'ma just assume that I only got 4 years, and I'ma live like this is it. That's what you have to do. You have to make. You can't be keeping up with the first rounders unless they're gonna pay your way, and then that's gonna make you feel some type of way. So, run your own race, stack your money, because none of this, the way things are today, they may not be tomorrow. So I don't know about, like I said, Stephon Diggs still out there. I don't know. Nobody picked him up yet. I was kind of surprised. Another guy that's out there, y'all know who he is, DeAndre Hopkins. He's still out there. He's, I think, in like tier 2 or 3 because of his age. And they're like, even though, because he played for the Chiefs, and they're like, even though, his career isn't over, it's close. So even if he gets a contract, it's probably going to be maybe 1 year. And then who knows how much it'll be. Save that money. So it says he is the highest paid quarterback right now, but he's going to put some affordable years on the back of that contract because they're going to have to sign more players. You talking about Dak Prescott? Yeah. That's what everybody's talking about. The fact that the Dallas Cowboys haven't really done anything. Does anybody have any idea what they have done in free agency? It said Tom Brady knew he needed a veteran, somebody with experience. But I know you're in your feelings. I don't mind sharing. I'm in my feelings. How about that? I thank you for recognizing that, and I'm not shy about it. I am in my feelings. That is funny, Kia. Jerry said, "Hey Jerry," it said Philadelphia picked 32 in the first round. Oh, same position as Lamar Jackson. Okay, so Philadelphia first round pick is number 32. I wouldn't be offended if I was going in the second round, but if I'm, what do y'all think what they gonna pick? What do they really have any needs? I mean, when you went to the Super Bowl, and I heard they moved some people around, the fact that they just moved Kenny Pickett tells me they getting ready to draft a quarterback. Now, if I had to be a betting woman, I'm gonna go with Jalen Milroe. First pick, number 32. I already said he could bump up from the second round to the first. How y'all like that pick? Jalen Milroe, QB2, behind Jalen Hurts, Alabama. Same agent. I like that. Let's see if that's what they do. All right. So we're thinking Jalen Milroe, first round pick number 32, bumped up from, if you let the analysts tell it, he's going third or fourth round, but I said it was supposed to be the second round with the first pick at number 40. The second round pick 40. So now we're thinking, since Philly has made a move with Kenny Pickett to Cleveland, they have an opening for a backup, and I'm going with Jalen Milroe, number 32, first round. Let's see if I'm right. Kiel said, that's interesting. What? 22 said, it looks like all of those teams that need a QB is filling the spot now. And all of these teams may not a QB in the first round, right? It seems like they are working against Shedeur. He's drafting the second round. Yeah, I think so too. I believe they expect him. Well, they did say that he thought he would slide down to 21 or 20. which is around Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, that affects his money. And since we know they seem to have a jealousy issue because he's already rich, that's why I think the analysts are making that move. Excuse me. That's why I think the analysts are pushing for Shedeur to drop, because they know it affects his money. And that's what lets you know why they're hating on him, because they're jealous because he's rich. Because if he's already wealthy, he's going to feel like he has standards and choices, and they don't like that. They don't like that. So I just want Shedeur to go somewhere he can start. And to be honest with you, if he went to the second round and if he went last in the first round, number 32 to Philadelphia, I mean, I'm not going to be mad, but I know he should be somewhere where he starts. And I don't know what team in the second round that doesn't have a pick in the first round or doesn't have enough picks to trade up to get him. But I do recognize that the sports media is trying to downgrade his stock, and they are relentless with it. They are relentless with it. So we shall see. That's why they were so happy when Geno went to the Raiders. Oh, we have QB1. I'm like, no, he's not. I'm like, you can look at the money. He got drafted for a third round pick. No. And I don't think he knew that, because he said he was looking for big money from Vegas. So I agree with you, 22. It says, okay. Let's see. Kiel said he was a second round pick. Who was that? It said they could use you on Sports Center for real. Oh, that would be something. I probably would just be sitting there and need a minute to because it'd be hot under the lights. But I think it would be fun. I don't know if that's going to happen. That wasn't my goal when I started this. It's just that I talk about sports a lot. Anybody will pretty much tell you that she likes sports. And she knows what she's talking about. So, but it will be kind of cool. It will be kind of cool. That's why I kind of want to do the mock draft. So we can have ironclad our mock draft before we actually go to the draft. And then we get to compare and see just how close that we are. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. You never know, because I saw Kai Cenat. Let me tell y'all something. The NFL and these media outlets are starting to latch on to these YouTubers. Now, remember, for the NFL game, the flag football game, they had Kai Cenat on a team. Angel Reese was the captain. And then they also, I think iShow Speed was there on the opposite team. So we have gone from those two being moving around. I think Kai Cenat was on one of those late night talk shows, maybe Jay Leno or something like that. I know I saw iShow Speed yesterday doing something. He's still out there, maybe with CBS or something. Then I see Kai Cenat again, I guess 4 days ago, with ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. So they were going back and forth. And Kai Cenat was at the All-Star game for basketball. So, and iShow Speed, he's out there too. It's just I don't follow him, so I don't really know what he got going on, but I follow Kai. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this is a change, right? Where they're bringing in these YouTubers because they have these massive audiences and they're younger and they want the younger audience. And the best way to get it without spending billions in advertising that they probably ain't gonna look at, go straight to the source. Popular Twitch streamers and YouTubers or whatever. So y'all hit the like button. Maybe they'll find me. And I promise not to embarrass What She Said podcast supporters if I ever get the opportunity. So thank you for that. But, I watched the guys work out today. I saw Caden back in Colorado. I saw Caden. Dude, I'm telling you, Juju posted, that it's almost about time. I don't know if I get to go to the spring game. You never know. If I do, I'll definitely let you know. But it will be a last minute, just like going to New Orleans was. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, I've been reaching out to people and asking questions. Okay, so remember we talked about the HBCU Combine, and I'm pretty bullish on a quarterback from Tennessee State who was coached under Eddie Robinson and Eddie George, and his name was Draylon Ellis. Well, I never had an original copy of his highlights, right? But I wanted to know since he went to the HBCU combine, he did really good. Very mobile quarterback, accuracy. This kid's, you know how they measure your longest pass? His shortest long pass was 70 yards. He had 80-yard throws. And he's mobile, throwing on the goal, accurate, in traffic. And I was like, this kid is just giving Jaden Daniels, and he was wearing yellow, so that just kind of helped me get there. So I didn't hear anything about him being invited to the NFL Combine. Now, it turns out some HBCU players were invited to the NFL Combine, but he wasn't. And I told y'all, you will know things are truly changing, and they're not making personal decisions. They're making business decisions when they start drafting quarterbacks, good quarterbacks from HBCUs. So I already followed him, so I guess messaged him, DM'd him, and I asked him, I said, hey, are you going to be playing professional ball this season? He said, yeah. He responded. He said, yes, I will be playing professional ball. So I'm wondering if he's going to go to like the UFL. I don't know what other leagues outside of that, but Kyler Moore from Life in Football, he follows the UFL. So when I see his content, I share it to my stories on IG. Like there's a team called the Roughnecks. That's all I know. I don't really have the time to sit down and study it, but I'm wondering if that's where he's going to end up. So we shall see. His name is Draylon Ellis. If I get the opportunity to get original footage from him of his highlights, then I'll definitely share it here because he's really good. I think he's one of those kids. If he unfortunately were in a different league, I think he, might have been at the combine, or at least got a tryout with the NFL. But you never know. Maybe he has one anyway. But I'm starting to reach out to people. He was the first person I DM'd. And then, y'all know I did a video about Caleb Wilson, the student who was killed while pledging Omega Psi Phi, right? So I'd already followed somebody from Jackson State who I think has like an organization where they mentor high school boys and they have like a fraternity, but not really. And I think he's a Q. So I remember I saw him. I said, I think he's a Q. And I've been following him since Coach Prime was at Jackson State. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, I've been following you for a minute. Do you have any thoughts on what happened to Caleb Wilson? And he replied as well. Let's see what he said. He said, let's see. I really, I don't DM people, so I don't even know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. That's crazy. But, oh, there it is. Okay. He said, good morning. It said the situation is very sad. I'm sure Southern University will do its due diligence with the horrific situation that occurred. So that's what he said. And then Draylon Ellis, he said, yes, he will be. Yes, I will definitely be playing professional ball. So I guess I'll just wait to kind of see, where he ends up. And thank you, Dr. Set It Off. That was his name that responded regarding Caleb Wilson. So I'm starting to reach out to people and ask questions. So I'll keep y'all informed when I hear back. But that's me taking the next step. Let's see. It says, you and who? You and Justina. Who is Justina? Who is Justina Atlantic? Let me know. It says, good advice to those young men. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Coach Prime is not playing. He said it. Somebody not going to be sitting here. So do they have cuts to make after spring ball? Now, I know they said some people might transfer out. One of the people they think are going to transfer out is QB3 or QB2 last year. Ryan Staub, is that his last name? But, I don't know. But everybody got to fight for that number one spot. But to me, Juju posted, he's ready to fight for the spot. So he's starting to be more active on social media. He's starting to pop up in the videos and the clips more. And that's what you have to do. So he has gotten to that point. So I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. Thank you. There's 14 of us in here. Can you please hit the like button? Make sure we have 14 likes. I appreciate it. All right. So We over an hour and 22 minutes, so we're gonna get ready to get out of here. If you like basketball, definitely turn on your notifications. Also, there's emergency pods, and every now and then, depending on what's going on, it's a late night podcast, which happens at about 11. So depending on if it's the weekend or the weekday. I appreciate y'all rolling with me today. I knew this will be a good podcast because of the free agency. We'll keep tabs on what happens for tomorrow. Like I said, I'm thinking Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh, and we shall see. I don't know. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of conversation once free agency is all said and done on what people think will happen to the quarterbacks in the NFL draft. I think Travis should go to the Giants. Somebody let me know if you didn't already what you think about that. But the guys from, Colorado, like in the first round, that's the ones I'm looking at. And now that we know that Philadelphia has the 32nd pick, I'm thinking Jalen Milroe. So I might compile all of that into a slide, and then we'll just keep it that way. We know what to track. So kind of like our tracker, or what she said, NFL tracker. Jalen, he was a second round pick. Yes, Jalen was a second round pick. He sure was. Second round, number 53, I believe. 53 or 55, something to that nature. So yeah, it said my bad. Josina Anderson. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like her. She's good. I like her. She interviewed Shedeur. She has a show in addition to being on different networks. She also has a show called The Exhibit or something like that. So I see her every now and then too. That's a compliment. Thank you, because she's already a professional in that field. So, but make sure y'all hit the like button. You never know, I might get discovered, found out, or whatever. But in the meantime, I'm doing my own thing, reaching out to people, asking questions. I'll come back and bring them to the podcast. I always let people know when I reach out to them, I have a podcast so they can go and see. We were already talking about them. That's what I told Draylen Ellis. I'm like, well, we already been talking about you. So let me know, if you're going to land somewhere, and keep me posted. So we shall see. But all right, I guess we're going to get out of here. I'm going to say goodnight. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now that daylight saving time is in effect, we'll go live at 9 p.m. And on the weekend, it looks like 10:30 is the sweet spot. So we're going to keep that on Friday and Saturday nights as well. Okay, so if anything comes up, don't forget there's a community tab where y'all can leave messages on YouTube, or don't forget Threads. I've already posted on Threads about the incident with the young lady with the track meet. That was horrible, and some other things. So go check it out on Threads. That's probably where I can make the most immediate impact with conversation before we go live. All right, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Thanks for watching What She Said.